Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Valharden Pickle and welcome back to some Satisfactory and a little bit of StarRupture news. It has been about a month since I've last done one of these live streams, but I'm very happy to be back, and hopefully I'm going to be back for 4 weeks. So it should hopefully be 4 weeks of Satisfactory streams, mostly Satisfactory, a couple StarRupture streams, and a couple other games here and there, as we're soon about to get onto. But today's stream is mostly talking about Satisfactory Update 1.2, which is coming out on the 17th of March, which is in a couple of days from the time of recording, which is very exciting. Of course, I am going to be live the minute it comes out. So in case you're wondering when it comes out, I don't know. Like the exact time of it, no idea. But when it does come out, I will be recording, so I am relatively excited about that. There's a couple of things I want to get onto first. Obviously, we have got some Satisfactory 1.2 news. I have already broken down... Okay, my ears are now bleeding. Fantastic. I have already broken down this trailer. I'll let it play in the background a little bit. I think it's an interesting trailer. There isn't really too much revealed. Of course, we've got the truck station right there as well, which is pretty cool. And the new selfie camera. I have paused... That was a millisecond too late with that one. I have paused this a couple of times to try and spot if there's anything new here in the background. And as far as what I'm aware, there isn't. Although, one thing that people did say in the comments of the video I released was that this highway in the background was showed off quite a lot. And of course, this was teased a couple times because it's quite an important part of the next update apparently, which is rather interesting. So that's something to keep an eye out. Let me just make sure I'm definitely live, because I've done this before where I thought I was live and it turned out I wasn't live and it was like really embarrassing. But, well, just for me. Yes, okay, brilliant. I'm also live on Twitch for the first time this year, because every time I'm live on Twitch it never works. I don't like streaming on Twitch that much. Let me just make sure that's all good and then I can actually get back into everything. The video download was cancelled. I don't like Twitch. I'm sorry, I just do not like Twitch. Anyway. Yeah, we should be fine. It says that we're offline. How are we offline? Streaming is just not easy. Welcome, Vinod. Hope that you're doing good today. Welcome. It's been a while. So, of course, we've got the first person mode, which is the same. We've got the selfie camera. We can change a few of the settings here. This is, of course, nice. We've had this for a while. Which is great. That railing there isn't new. The roads are interesting. Of course, it's been blueprinted a couple times. Wait. What's that? Jarvis, enhance. No, I clicked the wrong thing. Oh, I'm so good at live streaming. Honestly, chat. What is this? I really don't know. Obviously, it's something there for the hypertubes. I've never seen that before, though. The truck station is the picture kind of looks like a blueprint Kibitz made. Oh yeah, it does a little bit, to be fair. I haven't really seen too much of Kibitz recently. Welcome, early pause. Welcome. Holy moly, are you okay? Hope that you're doing good, man. 17th of March and the 15th. Really? Well, I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, hope that you're doing good, man. Hope everything's going well. The metal beam that's angled. Oh, okay, fair enough. All those ores down there aren't new. That's just limestone. We've got some copper going on. Don't think that's too new. I'm not sure about these poses. I don't particularly... I wouldn't say I don't care. I'm not really a massive pose fan. I don't really use the camera other than to get cinematic shots. Anything new going on over here? On the highway? No, that looks like asphalt to me. Although, what material are they using for the ramp? I think that's just concrete walls, isn't it? Fair. Okay. Yeah, we know about this, which is brilliant. And then back up your saves, of course, there as well. Okay, so there's not really too much else to analyze there with that trailer. That is talking a little bit more about Satisfactory 1.2. I did go into a bit more depth here regarding this particular sign, because to me, this looks like a road sign. It definitely does look like a road sign. Are they going to add easier signage, maybe? Are they going to be... Well, of course you've already teased trucks and fluid trucks, but are they going to add more when it comes to vehicles in this game? I don't know. I think every update up until update 2.0 is not going to be gigantic. I think there's going to be some good stuff in them, but things like new ores or biome expansions, that's just not going to be happening until updates. If there is ever going to be an update 2.0, which I think there will be. If I'm honest, I think there will be. There most likely will be an update 1.3. I heard Mikhail mention 1.3 just for a couple seconds in their last stream, which I actually think I've got up somewhere here. I think it was this one. I don't think there's any actual 1.2 gameplay or teasers in this particular trailer. No. On the live stream, sorry. Which is fine, it is what it is. They also had another live stream a few days before that, where yet again, I don't think anything new was announced other than the release dates. Yeah, it was this trailer, wasn't it? Yes. I believe that was the main thing they talked about. That's what we just watched over there. We have got a little bit of StarRupture news as well, and I've very quickly glanced over this trailer. I want to make a full in-depth video talking about it. I literally just came home yesterday from uni. Today has been a bit of a weird day, if I'm honest. I do want to try and get a few Satisfactory videos recorded, but quite frankly, there isn't really too much else I want to try and talk about when it comes to Satisfactory at the minute. There's nothing in particular that I feel deserves a dedicated video, and I don't want to produce something that, first of all, I don't want to make, and second of all, that isn't worth making a video for. Because I'm sure I could produce a 10-minute slop video talking about Satisfactory, but I don't think it's going to be worth watching, in my opinion. Anyway, let's give this a very quick view, because this looks rather interesting. I've already got some screenshots and some notes written down to record the video, but I want to try and see what the full thing actually is like. It says 14th of December. Really? Hopefully it doesn't. Unless this stream has messed up completely. Ah. Fingers crossed it hasn't. Anyway, this is like a very quick 1 minute long trailer. This is really cool, by the way. I'll break all this down in the video. I just want to try and show you guys this. It's quite loud. DLSS 4.5, we've got the drills. They look really cool. New ores, there is about 40 new items coming into the game. Got the fabricators. I think... I don't know what button I just pressed there. I think this is a teleporter. I think this is the teleporter. Also, I quite like how you can unlock this, not early game, but it doesn't take you 1,000 hours to unlock this. It's extremely awesome. And it's not a huge thing to grind towards. It's a bit of a grind, absolutely, but nothing unachievable by a beginner player. I like this factory. I believe that right there is a refinery. That's brand new. This machine, for me, is brand new. I don't know if it actually is brand new. I haven't unlocked every machine yet in this game. We've got some solar panels there as well. They haven't even talked about this, I don't think. But that looks great. Can I try and recognize this part of the map? No. We've got some grubbler trees, but I don't recognize this. Very interesting. Maybe this is part of the new biome. They look really cool though. This, I think they have talked about. It's the... Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. But you can get meats from it. It's not great. And what is that, by the way? That's interesting. Got some plants around here as well. I love the way that fox thing looks. They have talked about this. This is new. The Coraline. The Forgotten Engine. This next part's really cool. Okay, maybe not this part. I haven't been here yet, but I don't know if that's already included in the map. I'm yet to explore that. This part, I think, is really cool. It looks like we are going to get a improvements or an extra quest on the storyline, which is pretty cool. I do love games that have quests and storylines. We've got some data there to scan on the left. That's pretty cool. Lovely. More data. Incoming message. Oh, that's interesting. Initializing. Oh, we're turning it on. Wait, isn't this when you turn on the Forgotten Engine using a power cell? Is that what this is talking about? Because this looks like, I haven't done it yet, obviously, but this seems like what it would be like, turning on the Forgotten Engine. But why are they advertising it in this trailer then, if it's already in the game? Are they going to improve it? They're going to make it more challenging? Because I think right now you only have to craft one power cell to do it. I might be completely wrong with that, but I have to research it. Yeah. Definitely just turn that on. And there we go. Early access out now. So that right there showed a couple of the new machines. You got the drill there in the background. This thing's already in the game. Don't ask how I know. Plot twist. I die to it. Twice. And there we go. We've got some more of the factory in the background there with the... Also, I didn't realize, but in the actual logo itself, the T is the frost wave. That makes sense, because in the 1.0 video I released, I was basically saying that they're adding a new frost wave into the game. It's literally in the thumbnail shot of the game. I shouldn't have been surprised that was coming in, but either way, that's still pretty cool. You can just about see the... Oh, what are they called? Star Leons? It's been a while since I actually last played StarRupture, but in fact, that links me on quite nicely to my next part of the stream. This is the schedule for the next week and a couple days. Today is, of course, Saturday, the 14th, where it's going to be a Satisfactory focus stream. So, of course, the very start of today's stream is a bit different to my regular streams, where normally I just boot open Satisfactory, get a nice little cinematic shot. I'll say something like, "Hi, welcome back to the stream," then just get straight into it. But today, of course, we've got a bit of news, because I haven't done one of these streams in a month because of university, unfortunately. But yeah, so today I am doing a little bit more Satisfactory. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what I'll be doing today, but the plan most likely is to build an exterior, or at least to plan the exterior of my rocket fuel factory, because we've made some progress since my last stream. Nothing crazy, but a decent amount of progress. And I've decided that rather than having 4 quarters, which I'm still kind of sticking to anyway, I'm actually going to make it one big structure. And where the roads are, I'm not going to get rid of the roads, because firstly, it took me bloody ages to get them in there. And second of all, there's nothing wrong with them. Instead, I'm going to create some sort of dome over the top of the actual roads themselves and connect all 4 quarters to each other, which will end up creating a massive looking building. And then from that particular massive looking building, of course, we're going to have the space elevator in the middle, and then we're going to have little towers coming off the roof of it. That's the plan. I've got no inspiration behind it other than just try and make something that isn't awful. That's the plan. For the next week, yeah, it's going to be pretty chill. So Satisfactory today. Tomorrow is Arc Raiders, and I know what you're thinking. Why? My response to that is, why not? I think Arc Raiders is a decent game. Although, to be fair, I did make this a few days ago now, and I've reached a wall with Arc Raiders where I'm enjoying the grind, and my servers now are very PvE. I haven't killed a single Arc player yet, or a single player in Arc, because I just don't like doing that. I'm much more of a loot and get out kind of person, which is actually really fun. I really enjoy that. The problem is I've reached a wall where I can't really do much else unless I kill the really difficult machines to try and kill, which is a bit annoying. If you don't know what Arc Raiders is, I'll explain it all again tomorrow. It's an extraction game, but it's quite fun. Monday, Satisfactory, because that's the day before the update, and of course Tuesday, the 17th of March, that is update 1.2 on experimental, so that will be what I'll be focusing on. Wednesday will be Satisfactory, Thursday will be Satisfactory, so there you go, that's 4 days in a row of Satisfactory. Friday, I don't know what I'm doing Friday. I think what I'm going to do is a mystery game. I've got a few games in mind. Planet Coaster, City Skylines, Subnautica. I think Fall Guys is on there, potentially Rocket League. Basically, a bunch of games that I've got that I haven't played in a while that I've wanted to revisit. And off camera, I'm just going to try and select one of the games and just see what I fancy like playing. So Friday is going to be a bit of a mystery stream, and you won't find out what it's going to be until Friday, because I don't know what it's going to be until Friday. So we'll see then. Saturday, we'll be returning to Satisfactory, and then Sunday, some StarRupture, because I do have quite a lot to plan and do in StarRupture, and I like to just try and continue that little journey. Is there anything else I need to try and discuss today before we just get into the actual Satisfactory gameplay? I don't think so. I suppose I can open this and also close that whilst I'm here. Get some music playing in the background. Lovely. So this is... Oh, I've already forgotten how to use this app. This is our current rocket fuel facility that we're working on in Satisfactory. I've got all the resources. We've had that now for a while. And I believe I now have all the machines necessary to make our 6,000 rocket fuel per minute. I think everything is ready. I don't know if I'm making it just yet, though. Because again, off camera for the last month, every now and then I have returned to Satisfactory. But if I'm honest, I knew that I'll be playing it almost daily when I return, which is, of course, today. So I didn't want to drain myself before I came back. So I took a nice month-long break. I have missed the game. I've missed StarRupture. I've missed Satisfactory. Any game I haven't missed? Battlefield 6. I just... Ugh. But other than that, I am rather excited for this. How many fuel generators? Oh, it's a lot. I think without fully overclocking my fuel generators, it's well over 1,000. I think it's like 1,271. Have I actually got that written down somewhere? What is this? Oh, right. That's... Yeah, okay. That's not relevant for today. Damn. I've done a lot of planning for this, haven't I? Damn. So, we need 50 refineries to make the heavy oil residue. That's now done. In fact... actually, is that completely done? Not necessarily, because I haven't made all of this lot yet. 576 fuel generators. So, 576 times by 2.5. I can do the maths for that very quickly. Times by 2.5. It's 1,440 fuel generators. Which now raises another question of, have I got enough power slugs? I need 1,440 power slugs. And I can tell you now, I haven't got that. So one of our streams, most likely this week, is going to be a power slug collection stream. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know how I'm going to get them all. I don't know. Haven't got a clue. That's why I was talking a little bit about those towers, because quite frankly, if I am to make, let's say, 1,000 fuel generators, that's a lot. That's a lot of foundation. That's a lot of room that this thing takes up. And today, as I actually load into Satisfactory now, in all fairness, there we go. In fact, wait. Give me a second. I need to try and find out where I've actually got Satisfactory. There we go. I've got a new display everywhere, so it's a bit confusing for me just to handle. Satisfactory experimental, yes. Let's launch that. The problem that I'm still finding is that Satisfactory is crashing a lot for me. In case you guys forgot, our last Satisfactory stream, my PC couldn't handle it. It's a brand new PC, it's powerful. It can do a lot. It couldn't run the game, which was a bit concerning. So today, hopefully, fingers crossed, as I actually pause music in the background there, clear a tab out my windows. Why have I got my emails open? We'll never know. Let's just get straight into it. We'll have a little bit of fun. Let me know if at any point the music's too loud or too quiet. If my voice is too loud or too quiet. If anything is off. Okay, everything's at a high, not ultra. That's good. You have Unchained... Sorry. I've forgotten how to play this game. Wait. I don't know if this is delusion in my skull talking. Is this tractor... Has this tractor always been here? For any 1.1 players in the chat, if you load into Satisfactory... You don't have to do it now, but if you were to load into Satisfactory, would you actually see this tractor there? I don't remember that being there. Is that new to tease the trucks and the tractors and that update? I've got no idea. What month? Oh, we're in March at the minute. Yeah, 14 days in. The tractor's always been there. Okay, I'm clearly sipping some Delulu juice, otherwise known as still Scottish mountain water. Honestly, this is your daily reminder to drink water. Apparently, it's good for you. Drinking 12 cans of Monster apparently is bad for you, or some rubbish like that. I mean, luckily for me, 11 is where I draw the limit for Monster can consumptions. Okay, so off camera. Whoa, holy mouse sensitivity. What's happening? Let me just digest my mouse sensitivity for a second and change that instantly, because I will most likely throw up if that was my mouse sensitivity. Ooh, controls. Yeah, 1.7. That's what it should be. What? Oh, that's better. Oh, now it's actually too slow. Right. Should we go up to a 1.9? In fact, what is the maximum setting saying? Holy moly. I'm barely moving my mouse right now. I could probably still play like this, but it's really just not my kind of thing. But the fact that there's probably people out there that do play in that setting is concerning. I'm concerned. For them. Anyway. So I believe off camera, I've now fully finished this. It looks the same as you'd expect. I've also added all of this over here as well. As you can see, I've just started highlighting the outside of this thing here as well. It looks fine. It's what you expect it to look like, really. Luckily, we've got an absolute ton of rocket fuel being stored here now, which is fantastic. Welcome, Real Video Game Army. Hope that you're doing good today. Welcome to the stream. And welcome, Eric. Hope that you're doing good as well. So for these lots, I haven't quite done the logistics for this just yet. Maybe I'll do it today. I'm not quite sure. The main thing that I want to try and get done today is the actual outer layer of this particular factory. And again, this is what I was talking... Why? I have flown from here to there a couple dozen times now. And apparently I just haven't noticed this. Oh, I fixed it. Right. Okay. So like I was saying earlier, this is one quarter, that's another quarter over there, and another quarter over there. Those two back quarters are just going to be used, as far as I'm aware, for fuel generators. However, I have got a slight predicament, because we're not just making rocket fuel here. If I was, my life would be a bit simpler, and God knows, I don't like to make my life that simple. So I've also decided to... there we go. To also make hundreds, if not thousands, yeah, literally thousands of plastic and rubber here as well. Which is interesting. I think it'll be fine. Like, this is definitely going to fit. It's just where? Or where is it going to fit? And the reason why I'm not starting this now, by the way, is because if we have a very quick gander over at our power grid, if I can even try and find one of our power lines. I might have to go down here a little bit. There we go. Hello. Well, where's our power? I've hidden this a little bit too well, I'd say. Yeah, we've already exceeded our capacity in production, which is a bit concerning. Although that does actually remind me, now that I've actually got a PC that can handle this game, I might reattempt what I was trying to do in my last save, where I go around the world, I place down all my radar control towers, or radio control towers, and my geysers, the geothermal generators, just to get a bunch of extra power, because it's 10,000 megawatts worth of power. Do I really want to turn down 10,000 megawatts? Not really. So that's going to be happening one day. I mean, regardless, we've got an entire month of Satisfactory. We'll have tons of mini projects here and there. But today, our big project and our big focus is going to be finishing the blueprint, or at least starting the blueprints for this particular quarter. Because when I get this quarter sorted, I can then roughly replicate the design on that quarter, that quarter, and that quarter. Then what I'll have to try and do is try and think of a way to then join this with this. And I've already got a design in mind. I'm thinking a nice little column down here potentially, and a column over there as well. They can link together. Everything just links together. It'll be good. Maybe. Turbo fuel is the best in the game. Turbo fuel is good. In theory, if you're just looking at numbers, ionized fuel is the best in the game. But I don't like it. Personally. I don't like ionized fuel. It's really good for jetpacks, but other than that, not really my kind of thing. Now, I have already done an exterior for my rocket fuel factory. You might have already seen this, in fact, in my last stream a month ago. The problem is, I didn't love the way it looked, although I didn't hate it either. Oh, I didn't lock it into place. I'm so good at this game. This is good concept design for me. Oh. No, which one was it? Was it this one? No. This one? Yes. Okay. Oh no, I locked it into place. Bro, I've forgotten how to play this game. What's going on? There we go. Pardon my noobness. Now, you lot roughly lined up with this, didn't you? You then came down to there, I believe. No, it wasn't. In fact, it might have actually been. You were lined up with something, but what were you lined up with? So much to make it, and yeah, exactly. Well, first of all, it takes a lot of resources to make ionized fuel. And after I crunched the numbers and did some calculations, I found out that you actually lose power making ionized fuel. Because the process from rocket fuel to ionized fuel requires so many resources. I think it also requires... what is it? Slugs. Synthetic slugs. Which, just making that in itself costs so much power. There's quantum encoders required. It's just not really worth it, in my opinion. If you want to make it, don't listen to me and be like, oh, well, he said it's bad, I'm not going to make it. No, make it, but... for my calculations, it's just not great. Okay, so if I was to place this here, the design and the concept I was thinking of is simple, but also not. That was our first one. That was the corner. No. No. What even? No, I know what that is. You were then positioned on top, weren't you? Where? I think that's the wrong side, first of all. And what's this? Yes, I remember this now. Because you were here. Like so. You only use ionize for jetpacks. Also, it shards not... oh yeah, sorry. Synthetic shards. Yep. There's an ult that takes dark matter crystals and packaged rocket fuel. Dark matter crystals, they're not that easy to make. I mean, they're not as difficult, but they're not simple to make, I'd say. So that was the concept, and then use some sort of arches in the middle there to make it a bit more acceptable and appealing. I believe this is carbon steel, isn't it? Yes. I don't hate that. I really don't hate that. I think. I'm so indecisive, it's borderline concerning. But I don't massively hate that. I feel like I might want to try and do something a bit different here. Because as of right now, I believe I just copied this across, didn't I? And that was basically that. It works, but it could be better, which is my main focus points. Also, every now and then, you're going to see me looking over at this monitor, and I promise it's not because I'm watching the watching the scoreline of the England-France game. No, not England-Fent. Oh, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No, I won't be distracted today. Because today is basically Super Saturday. It's all the rugby matches going on. Right now, Ireland's winning. Italy played Wales, and that was fun to watch. If I was just to do that for a second... I actually don't hate that. I can tolerate the look of this. Which, for my standards, is actually pretty good. I'm not sure about this overall shape, though, if it works. Because my original idea and concept was to replicate what I... Ew, what's that? Did it again. Was to replicate what I did down here, but invert it. So rather than going from a thick bottom, there's no way to phrase that better, a thicker lower layer, then a thinner top layer, it would then go from a thin top layer to a thin bottom layer to a thicker top layer. That's the most difficult way I could have possibly explained that. But I think we understand what's happening. You're then going to go here, which is nowhere near that. Okay, I'll look into that. I'll investigate myself. So it'll look something like this. You then do the exact same thing, basically. This isn't final, by the way. Firstly, I've got to make this on the blueprint designer anyway, so... The next thing to then do is to grab this, which the game said I can't place down, but I luckily can. And then just drop it in here. Looks good to me. There we go. Have you told the story yet of how you came up with your channel name? Basically, I like Norse mythology. That's why the Valhalla thing. And also it's a set in Warhammer 40k. I believe it's Astra Militarum, but there's like the Valhallans, which look pretty cool. And also pickles, because I like pickles. Yeah, I mean, it's not rocket science, but I quite liked it. Question. How big is this? How many meters are we talking here? We've got at least 20. 24. Okay. What's this? 18. So this is going to be slightly taller than everything else. Do I like that? No. I really don't. Again, the problem is this design here and this design there, they don't really intertwine in a satisfying way that I am pleased with. That's the main reason why I wanted to get rid of what I did previously. Well, I was keeping it the same sort of idea, but different. Same, but different. Basically. So let's try that. Let's just whip out the blueprint design. In fact, I might as well keep... Yeah, I'll keep this here just so I can get an idea of what not to do. That's correct, isn't it? Yes. Wow, I've actually remembered how to play this game. After 4,000 hours playtime, you'd think I would, but there you go. Right, blueprint designer, you can stay there because you're doing your thing. I don't want to get involved with that. Have I got the resources to place this thing down, by the way? Oh, yeah. Okay. Right, silly question. So I like this concept here. What we've already started to design, I quite like that. Maybe what I'll try to do here is when I replicate this, we can then have the lights, because of course this is going to be facing upwards, have the lights then travel along here. That could look quite nice to create some sort of box feel, which I don't really want a box look, but it could work out for this. Am I talking rubbish? Yes, but it could still work. Yep. You have Norse heritage. Oh, nice. Yeah, everyone starts somewhere, exactly. Right, so how wide is this actual blueprint? Not very. I don't think I have to come any further forwards than this particular concrete pillar. So what I'm going to do is try and find the middle here, which is going to be here. And just for now, plop that into there. And try and see how wide this actual gap is. I think it's 2 pillars. Yep, okay. Okay. Fantastic start. World-class start right there. Now, do any of these overlap? I really hope not, because that will make... Oh. That will make my life difficult is what I was going to say. It's fine. In fact, no, it's not. If I go up by 6 and then just down by a couple. 1, 2, 3. Up by 6, down by 3 nudges. Okay. Up by 5. 1, 2, 3. 5. But yeah, how's everyone been doing, by the way? I hope everyone's keeping well, keeping safe. Interesting times at the moment. We've missed a lot. We've definitely missed a lot. Okay. Now, color-wise, everything's fine, I think. How did I even get that up? Is it X? There you go. Everything's fine here. That's all good, Vidod. Yeah, I know. I started the stream quite late today because my streaming software, yet again, had another update. The 400 billionth one of the year. Hopefully tomorrow's stream will be starting about... Okay, now it's 7:30, so about 4 hours earlier than today. Fingers crossed. I mean, that's the plan. Not all my plans work out, but that's the plan. Okay. Right, I can do this. Bit of motivation there. And I think you are placed... Is it here or is it exactly in the middle? It's... Oh. Really? I did that? Okay. It's half a nudge back. Okay. That's fine. I mean... Yeah. Yep. That should be bang on in the middle there, and it absolutely is. Brilliant. So we've now done that. The only thing I have to add in after I edit this, or after I place down the blueprint, should I say, are going to be these beam supports, but that's not really a massive drama. Next thing now is that you have to be aligned height-wise with that. Ooh. There's an echo. That's cool. I think that's been in the game for a while. I haven't really paid attention to it. Okay. 1, 2. Very small gap. In fact, no, you're exactly there, aren't you? Okay, right. Right. Where are you going? Which direction have you just gone in there? I'll give you a hint. It's the wrong one. Height-wise, align that. Lovely. Then you're going to be back that much. Although, why are you being weird? Because you're not being weird. It shouldn't be. We'll investigate. in a second. So you come out roughly there, so this should be back by a fair amount. Just temporarily, I'll lock that into there. Then what I'm actually going to try and do is grab this. Let's see, 1, 2, 1.5. So you're back there by 1.5 nudges, and again, height-wise, you're completely fine. One and a half. There. That should be correct. You should... Okay. Let's not do that ever again. A small gap there as well, if that's correct. Need some colours, cross pillars. Oh yeah, most likely we are going to be changing this slightly. Because the problem is, I don't want it to look too grey. I don't like this design, by the way. That's why, as you can see, every now and then I've added a good bit of orange. Because that's going to be the theme here. It's going to be dark colours mixed with the nice light there from the coated concrete foundations with the orange. So now it's just trying to figure out ways to actually incorporate that orange into this particular project. I do want to have a couple other things here and there as well. I don't know what just yet. But it's in the works. Serious question though, what is wrong with you? Oh, you actually stick out? That's why. Okay, so what about here? Oh, okay. That's really smart actually, wow. Whoever thought of that needs a raise. It was me. There we go. Yeah, we can do an orange bar, like this thing, do you mean? Because what I was actually planning is changing the background here. What material am I using? I believe that's concrete. I don't want to use concrete. Because what I could do is go into our materials, replace that with the fix-it wall, then orange. As you can see, this is the orange with the concrete wall. That's the orange without the concrete wall. And instantly there's quite a big color difference there. If I just turn off the light there for a minute as well. I think it looks alright. Potentially what I could do, and I have no idea if this is even going to work, is this. Okay, no, I can't. Can I? No. I mean, I could have that sticking out from there, which is not the design I was going to go with. But I mean, that would look fine. Maybe have that be white. The very first part of today's stream is going to be experimenting. And I know some people might find that frustrating, like, oh, why didn't you come to the stream prepared with what you're going to do? Because I like to do it on camera. Rather than just being like, hi, I know what I'm going to do, just sit and watch me do it. No, I'd much rather go through it with you guys as well. You can see what goes on with when my two brain cells decide to combine and think of some ideas. I like that. I do. I can tolerate it. My eyes aren't bleeding from pain. I don't think. Oh, that's going to do the thing. Yep. That's actually not that bad. I much prefer that to that. And then secondly, what I could try and do here is... Oh, you're already carbon. Okay. Let's try this then, shall we? Firstly, I suppose we'll go with orange. But that's a bit too bright for me. What I could do is keep that orange. Then make you carbon. Because that gives it quite a nice metallic sort of look. And the one advantage, I mean, before I speak, let me just get a bit further away. It's strong, it's a very pungent look. But one advantage that carbon has in comparison to chrome is that it's slightly darker. So you still have that metallic tang, which I quite like about chrome. But that darkness, especially in a slightly shaded area, I think works a bit better. I can do a side-by-side to see if this is actually going to look the way I think it's going to look. Yeah, okay. So you can just notice it straight away. I much prefer the carbon. Makes it pop? It does make it pop, yep. Okay. That's something to keep in mind. That's not a bad idea. Because as of right now, this looks a bit bland, a little bit boring. This most certainly does not. I know this is just our test wall, but I actually want to try and see. If I was to expand this concept... In fact, yeah, all of you have to be this color. This material. There we go. Sorry about the lag. It happens whenever I try and upgrade these. Some weird reason. Then now for you lots. Should probably change that there as well. And get some lights going. I won't do lights across the entire way because I'm sure we can get a rough understanding of what it's going to end up looking like. I don't mind it. Could the lights be orange? I'm just thinking now, if I can try and make the orange the same color as this particular wall here, it could almost make it look like the wall itself is glowing, rather than the wall itself not glowing, but the signs behind it appearing to have that glow effect. So let's try and add that. Luckily, I've already got a color in mind. It should be orange. Okay, see, that's actually a little bit too light, I would say. Can I get a slightly stronger, darker orange? A little bit too light. That must be way too dark. No. Better. Glowy 3. Yeah, that's good. Let's see, what do we prefer? I'm actually going to leave that the way it currently is. Just so I can get a quick before and after. I'm not really noticing much of a glow. But it's doing what I wanted it to do. It's sticking out. It functions. It's interesting. The white definitely does pop a little bit more. If I was on ground level, because realistically this is where I'm supposed to be, I think it's a good idea. I might need a little gap in between, potentially. At night it will, yeah, to be fair, it will glow at night. Also, I've just realized, now that they're adding rain back into the game, I think this particular area is going to look rather beautiful during the night. The night and the rain, I think it should look alright. Okay. We'll come back to that concept. Let's try and finish this for now. So what I've just built, I believe, mimics this. Allegedly. Well done. I've done something right. That's pretty cool. Then you're now... Oh. Ew. Okay. Basically just continue this until we get to the top, I think, is what we'll have to try and do here. Which I actually can't seem to do. Why is that? Oh, okay. That's... see. I was just to grab that there for a sec. Then bring that up to here. That's where you're currently lined up with. You still have to come up by a little bit more. Somehow. But I don't think I can go any further else. Otherwise it's going to overlap the blueprint. Oh. Oh. Oh? Yeah, that's the thing actually, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm not even going to question it. Because I love how that's the thing. And that's our very first layer done. Let's freaking go. That only took... How are we 50 minutes into the stream? Oh, I know I did that, the whole introduction thing, but still. That's actually kind of crazy. Wow. Right, you're next. Boom. Straight down. Love that. And I believe you're just going to be here now, aren't you? Are you one further in or one further out? You're one further towards... Oh, okay. Right. So in that case, then, you have to go up like that. Okay. Okay. As you can tell by the sound of my voice, I don't know what I'm doing either, so don't worry. But luckily, we're here for a good time and a good time only. Hopefully a productive time too, but we've got a month of Satisfactory streams. If I don't get everything done today, I'm not going to have a breakdown about it. I probably would actually, but it'll be off camera, so you won't have to see it. Now, okay, I've built everything too far forwards. Easily the best Satisfactory player of our time. Is it there then? No. There we go. Height-wise, you're now perfect. I like that. Yep. One more. Oh, so now you're going to, what's the word? Oh yeah, piss me off. Because you don't want to line up properly. That's fine. I'm only like moderately upset about that. Only moderately. So we've done one, we've done two. In fact, that looks like a one gap to me. A one nudge. Why you do it doesn't matter. Let's see. Let's lower you down slightly. Then up by half. Like that. Okay. You're still not identifying with being normal, so that's okay. What I'll do then instead is grab this, line it up to where it's necessary, then do that. That's still fine. That's going to have to do for now. Fuel plans, yeah. We can't forget about that. Well, I can, but I'll try not to. Should I say? Boom. There we go. Now, you're only going to be a half nudge. So you're one, you're half. Why have I done that like that? I don't know. Does it make sense? Not really. But I've done it now, so I'm going to replicate whatever I've done down here. Was I live when I encountered the really weird cinematography bug? Where I tried to use the cinematic camera and this particular glass panel just completely bugged out and it was flashing green. I was actually, I don't think I was live, but I'm pretty sure that it could have probably triggered an epilepsy reaction. I don't think I was live when that happened, now that I'm thinking about it. Thumbs up. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are enjoying the content, feel free to leave a like. All support is greatly appreciated as my voice starts to go on day one of me returning back. That's brilliant. Okay. So you've now got to stick out by a little bit, which is fine. Get rid of that there as well. And I suppose we can get rid of this. The last thing I will say though is thank you very much, by the way, for all the support on the guess the satisfactory item shorts videos. They've been receiving a lot of support. I don't know why. I mean, one of the comments on the shorts video was literally someone saying, I've never even heard of Satisfactory before, but they were still recommended the content. So, I mean, thanks YouTube, I suppose. Right. Oh, you just do the thing. Okay. No fancy business then. I don't think. No. Is that correct, really? That almost seems a bit too simple. I'm concerned by how simple that is. In layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. Layer 4. Sneaking in there a little bit. And then you. Where do you come from? Where do you come from? Ready to go? Do I need you to stick out that far? That's my question now. Do I actually need you to do that? Because you're the one thing that's kind of getting on my nerves. I wouldn't say I'm having a mental breakdown, but I'm already pretty close to one. But it's okay. It's all good. You play the game so much you have... Oh yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? That's why I'm going to be making it more difficult. I'm going to release a video talking about the series. And how I plan to make it far more challenging. Because as you say, a lot of people can recognize the objects straight away. I know I can recognize most of them. There's a couple that people will struggle with. Absolutely. I think the fuels. So things... well, of course you can't really recognize rocket fuel. And... well, all the liquids really, because they all look the exact same. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. We'll see. We'll see. When there's a will, there's a way. I just don't know what the way actually is just yet. But with a few items like the... why can't I think of a single item? Turbo motors, there you go. Why was I struggling to... it doesn't matter. With the things like the turbo motors, for example, they're quite distinctive. Like you can see it from a mile away. But the fuels, you can't really, as far as I'm aware, at least. So we have to try and figure something out for that, which I think would be pretty fun to try and do. Lovely. The main thing, I think it might have to be. Maybe what I do is when it comes to the liquids, I put the hints on the screen after 2 seconds. Because normally it's 10 seconds long that you have to try and guess. And then after 5 seconds, I put the hint or the clue on the screen. I think what I'm going to have to try and do is just after 2 seconds, then put the clue on the screen. Because otherwise you're just looking at a canister for 5 seconds. In fact... I want to try and see something here. Yeah. These look far more distinctive. For example, yeah, like look at this. They all look the exact same, but these don't. Nitric acid, sulfuric acid, they're similar. I could say this requires no nitrogen, because then the only thing it can be is sulfuric acid. This, I don't know what I can say for that. Packaged nitrogen gas and packaged rocket fuel look the exact same. I can't see ionized fuel just yet, but I'm sure it looks similar. I can try and think something that is like a little clue for that. When it comes to the liquid biofuel, I can say this is used... I can't say biofuel. Leaves and wood are vital for this. There you go. Packaged turbo fuel. I'll think of something. I'll think of something for that. And then, yeah. Luckily for the packaged water, this is quite, again, distinctive. So it's the only one that looks like that as far as what I'm aware. I think that's what I'll do then. When it comes to the fuels and the liquids, I won't use them, for example, like that. Because you can't tell the difference between oil, turbo fuel, rocket fuel. There's no difference. I don't think. From the silhouette, at least. But then these, there is. So we'll most likely end up doing that. I've already recorded the next couple episodes, by the way. Up until day 10. There's a few easy ones in there. It will get harder as time goes on. And I thought of a concept. It's a Franken item. Basically, that's not an item from Frankfurt, but instead it's few items combined. For example, let's say iron plates and cable. It will be combined together, and they're going to try and guess what the two items are, which I think is going to be very difficult. But so far, people have got everything correct pretty much, so I think you guys need a challenge. Okay, what's next? You. Oh, okay, that's nice and simple. Alumina solution, water, and the... Oh, are the only unique ones? Yeah. We're trying to figure out something to do with that then. What did I do down here? Oh, wrong button. I'm so talented. Okay, we'll do that for now. Sure. Then have to try and grab this now. I have no idea how this is going to look, by the way. Literally not the slightest of clues. Is there supposed to be a pretty big gap there? I don't think so. No, it's relatively small. I could try and do a half nudge, see if that's going to work. Why are you like that? Oh well. I mean, worst case scenario, this is fine. Nothing wrong with this. But because it can be better, I'm going to try and see if I can make it better. No, okay, so nudging won't do anything there. What if I do this? No. I think that's just going to have to be okay. There's nothing wrong, really, with it, if I'm honest. Then pop you out there a little bit. Yeah, that looks completely fine, actually. And do that there. Then the plan here is to try and do something a little bit like this. Or actually not like that. Then when it comes to you, what I'm then going to try and do is grab that. Half nudge you forwards, nudge you down. See, you need to get nudged. There we go. That's actually quite perfect, in fact. Then you're going to come down to... Yes? Is this actually going to work? I mean, there's no reason why it shouldn't. Okay. Right. How can I fix this? Because quite frankly, you could probably spot that from a mile away. No, you can't. Doesn't matter. It's fine. It will have to do. We'll see. Like, if it's quite obvious, then I will try and find a solution. Okay, what am I doing here? Let's try and coordinate my two brain cells together. I like that, I think. I can tolerate the look of that. Yep. Love that. Now, are you going to be a problem? Oh. You absolutely are going to be a problem. I can't lower you down, can I? Because in theory, you have to go to that sort of height, and then, oh no, you'll be fine. And how about you? You're fine. Okay. Okay. But then what did I do for this layer? Oh, I added more of this. Fair enough, yeah. That's what I would have done. Oh wait, that is what I did. Half nudge you forwards. Boom, lovely. Although we seem to have a lot more room now to mess around with. Don't know why. I'll accept it. Then here, there's a small gap here. What I might honestly try and do, if I can get away with it. A little bit of what I like to call visual murder. I know most murders are visual, but this looks bad if you see what is behind what I've done, basically. I'm masking the rough parts. It's like when I play Planet Coaster and I put a bunch of bushes and trees and rocks in front of my landscaping disasters. That's not bad. I want to try and plop this down. Just to try and get a concept of what it's actually going to end up looking like. You just have to go, I'm sorry. It's not you, it's you. Absolutely same with that. Get that out of her. I don't mind the way it looks. I'm not convinced by it just yet. It hasn't wowed me. It satisfied my eyes slightly, but nothing shocking. Okay, now we're back to where we were before, I think. Nope. Spoke too soon. That's fine. That's where we were before. Let me try and save this. What am I going to save it as? What are you? Cool. Rocket fuel, exterior, straight 004? RFEX straight 004. Let me just try 002. Good, okay. Oh. Oh. Is that new? Saying that it's new. Have they actually changed this? There's no way you've changed this, right? I don't think they have changed this. That's fine. Okay, buildings, what did I even have as the building there? Doesn't matter, really. I think it was a concrete wall of some sort. Nice. It might have been that, honestly. And I believe when it comes to the colours, I've already got a rocket fuel one. I do. No. Oh, it was the... It doesn't matter. It really does not matter for now. Eventually, of course, it will matter. You the right way? I suppose you have to be, actually, yes. My power plant is literally just coal. I am running this entire world from coal power. And I think I've got a handful of fuel generators. It's really not looking great for us. I've placed you in the wrong spot. Okay, that doesn't help. It looks a little bit like the Egyptian falcon. I don't know why. That would be a really cool thing to have. It's like in that place in Game of Thrones where Khaleesi, whatever her name is, takes over that slave place, and she's like, I free you! And then they're like, we don't really want to be freed. What do you mean? Like, and then they have that massive eagle on top of the pyramid-looking thing, and then they bring it down. Sorry, it's just, that's what it reminded me of. Right, are you lined up? I haven't got a Scoobies if you are lined up or not, because I actually haven't done this part of the blueprints. I just realized. Right, let's try and lower you down. In fact, stop. That's close enough. So after this part now, you're going to do a thing, and then you're going to do a thing. Right. It's actually quite difficult to get an idea of how this is going to look as of right now. Because as of right now, it looks quite weird, if I'm honest. What are you doing? Why are you acting all weird? Oh yeah, because yeah, that's fine. So I suppose what I'll do is I'll mark these here. I can very quickly double check if you are straight, which of course you are. Lovely. And now I can try and work on the back of this. Of course, I don't mind the way this is looking so far, if I'm honest. You just have to shoot up. Oh, there's a bug on my screen. It's been removed peacefully. By peacefully, I mean it doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so you just have to go straight up. Glass on that side. So glass, concrete, 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 glass. Yeah, simple. I say that now. How far back are we going here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've already messed it up. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay. Let's line it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you're going to get zooped up as high as we need to try and go here. Is that good? Something tells me it's not. It's slightly off, I think. Yep. As a surprise to absolutely nobody, it is slightly off indeed. Color-wise, in fact, what I'm actually doing color-wise here, that looks pretty grey to me. Indeed, it is grey. Great. Grapes. You've changed colour. Congratulations, you've now annoyed me. Why have you changed colour? What is that? And why have you changed colour? Okay. I do actually need that there. I don't think that's actually a massive concern. In fact, if I do that... Done. There you go. Not too bad. Save a little bit of concrete because we don't want to be spending too much concrete now as I look around my world. As I use concrete for everything. That's fine. You've got to change your colour slightly. I actually don't know what I'm going to end up doing here for this overhanging bit. I suppose continue the design. So for example, I can't place it in, but this will then just shoot out like that basically. Have something go along like there and... yeah, that's going to end up looking solid. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway. Any overlaps? I don't think there is any overlaps. This might just be an actual normal blueprint. I don't want to sound the alarm too early here, but I might have just designed an actual normal build. That doesn't require 2,000 concrete. Again. Yeah, that's quite annoying. Okay, so... solution to that then, as I... what am I stuck on? Oh. Is this. Boom, 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 pow. Now, this should extend quite nicely on from that, if everything here is correct. Overlap that, or override it. Completely fine. And now, because these are left here, I now know exactly where I should line these up. In theory. Oh, I didn't add these, and that's fine. I like that. Obviously, this means that this project's a lot higher than what I was trying to go for, because originally this is where the roof was almost going to be. Now what I want to try and do for these columns here, I want to try and design something that looks very similar to this color scheme. So we're going to have, just very, very, very quickly here, just to demonstrate what my brain's trying to notify other parts of my brain what to try and do. It's going to look like that. That out. Ooh, is it? Yeah, has to. Okay. What I'm then going to do is this. 1, 2. And then a little bit like this. And a little bit like this. This isn't the very final concept, it's just literally a concept. But it's going to just make these walls stick out a little bit, which I think will look interesting. Just a singular nudge there on each side. Yeah. I actually really liked that. It looks quite, well, obviously it's metallic because of the color I'm using. It's kind of the whole idea of the carbon steel, carbon fiber. But it's almost as if you've got this concrete wall and you've got the metal ripping through that concrete, exposing its actual inner self. Why does that sound like it's some sort of mental health advice? Sometimes in life, you've got to rip through your concrete outer layer and expose your metal inner self. I do quite like that. It reminds me a little bit of a cauldron from Horizon Zero Dawn. And yes, I'm still pissed off about the new Horizon Zero Dawn game and how dreadfully rubbish it looks. Anyway. I like that concept though. And what I could even try and do every now and then is... Okay, sorry. I'll just... Yeah. Is this... I don't mind that. I can tolerate the look of this. But that's just a very quick concept design. I do want to try and get onto that today, actually. I still... Day 1000 of me flying straight into glass, because apparently I'm a pigeon. Why do pigeons... That doesn't matter. Humans are being cruel enough to pigeons. I shouldn't judge them for flying into windows. I judge them I judge them inside, right? You stick out a bit too far. Which is fine. I'm quite disappointed, but that's okay. I've really missed Satisfactory, I'll be honest. I would like to try and get onto the more logistical side of this game today. That would be great. If time allows it, I would like to try and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brilliant. Try and finish these. And potentially even very temporarily drag out a power line up here. I can't really reach the top of this particular blueprint anymore. Why are you there? I think that's from when I was doing my calculations. And I hope... Oh, hello. You should probably just zoop across over that. Grand. Yes. Still got all of this down here. Great. I like how I'm trying to make this area look nice and neat. It's definitely not the final design. I want to try and add some more rails along there, for example. But when it comes to things like this, in fact, you can't even see it now because I've hid all of it. But I'm liking the way things are looking. In fact, I have to give you guys a tour. What am I doing? I've built stuff, but I haven't actually showed you guys what I've done. I've pointed it out, but I haven't explicitly gone through it just yet. Which is absolutely something I do want to try and do, because some of it doesn't look that bad. Where do I start? I suppose we'll start where we were just showing you guys. This is the entrance here for the trucks. No, this is the exit. No. Entrance. Because we're using left-hand traffic here, so the trucks and tractors will be driving along here. What? Why? Okay. They'll be driving along there. I'm most likely going to end up removing that because it needs a bit more room to turn. There we go. So I have showed you guys this particular part, but the trucks come down here. There's going to be a roof. It's going to look dramatic as heck. Hopefully. Then the trucks go into there. And for this particular plant, I don't actually need anything from the trucks. But I've already added this here, so what I'm going to end up doing most likely is getting the water from over there, which again is not finished just yet. This won't be finished for months, by the way, but our water extraction facility. And this will be delivering our water here, so it's going to instantly unload everything. And it won't be carrying a lot of water. I don't trust fluid trucks enough. And I just realized, by the way, I actually have to try and change these truck stations, because these are designed... Actually... Ooh. I am packaging you, aren't I? I absolutely am. That's fine. I think what we'll do then is have a little bit of packaged water come into there. That's okay. Then some actual fluids trucks go somewhere over there, because I want to use fluid trucks here. And the main reason why I want water to come in here isn't actually to do with anything that you see here. The main thing, in fact, the only thing I'm using water for is our plastic and rubber, which is going to be produced over there. So when I bring in the packaged water here, you guys can just do whatever it is you have to try and do. You can get unpackaged over there. I don't care. I do care. That's fine for now. Then trucks continue that way. Trucks then come in this way. There's nothing on this side because I just don't need it. Simply put. What's this project for? Rocket fuel. Well, the main thing is for rocket fuel. So everything here, basically, it's called the Rocket Fuel City because it's going to end up being a city. So what I'm mostly focusing on right now is our rocket fuel for our generators, because quite frankly, I need power. I haven't got any power. It's bad. I need electricity. So that's the most important thing. Then the second thing down here is making all of our plastic and rubber. There we go. Plastic and rubber. Whilst also producing quite a good amount of heavy ore residue. This heavy ore residue, plus our compact coal from our byproducts from our rocket fuel, then combines to make some turbo fuel. And also, you can't even see it because this is all slightly messed up. We can then create over 1,270 iron ingots when I get some more iron in. And there's a couple iron nodes nearby, so that shouldn't be too much of a drama. And also, I could just use a truck. I've got roads for a reason. Might as well use them, right? That's the plan with that. The turbo fuel, I don't actually know what I'm going to be doing with the turbo fuel, because, I mean, that's 22,000 megawatts worth of power that I'm essentially getting from combining a byproduct with a byproduct. It's amazing. So I'll probably just convert it all into power, or use it for drones, because drones are vital in this build for me. Absolutely vital. So that's the plan for here, basically. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. But after this is done, I'm guaranteed every drop of plastic that I need, every drop of rubber it's going to give me, how much power was it? 360,000 megawatts. Although that's not including the amount of power I need to actually power this factory. And all the water extractors and all the resource miners. But it's still quite a lot of power, luckily. So that's great. We've got power, plastic, rubber, iron, and turbo fuel being produced here, basically. Which I'm quite happy with. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. All good fun. In case you're wondering why I need so much plastic, it's to make my 1,000 batteries, which is then going to be used mostly for our drones. And after I finish making all my plastic, the next factory I'm going to be working on is my alclad aluminium factory. I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know how much I need for it. I don't know what I'm making. Other than that, I've thought about everything. So that's fantastic. I know roughly where it's going to be. In fact, you know what? Let's have a very quick break and show you guys my starter factory. Because I haven't been there in a month. How do I respawn? There we go. The hell was that? What was that screen? I've never seen that screen before. Holy lag. Okay, yeah, my game does not like me being here. Understandable. What is going on? Okay. Okay. Really? Oh. I don't know what that was, but it's clearly a bit empty. Oh, all of my dimensional depots. I completely forgot about this project. Holy moly, how are you guys looking? Oh. I have a lot of work to do, don't I? Welcome, Bulldog. University's going good. It's going alright. I'm enjoying the course. Luckily, first year's quite relaxed. But it's been alright so far. Don't tell me this is all completely filled up. Oh, holy moly. We've got a lot to do. Yep. Oh well, not today's problem. It should be today's problem. How's our awesome sinks doing? Oh, wow, no way, that's incredible. Why is there no, wait, actually, why is there no power to that? Oh yeah, because I was trying to not sink these guys. Very peculiar. So what I wanted to try and show you guys was essentially where I'm going to be building my aluminium facility. And I think I want it to be in the Rocky Desert. Because about, oh, how long ago now? 6 months ago, 7 months ago? Actually, a lot longer, I'd say. Oh, a lot longer. A year ago? Somewhere around that time now. I did a mini-series here on the channel where I was trying to create a port. I built a ship. I created, like, shipping containers. It looked really, well, for my standards, it looked alright. So, I want to try and somehow create a port and then build a city around the port. And I think it will end up looking not too shabby. For my standards again. I missed completely. I'm so good at this game. And the reason why I want to try and build this out here is because I have quite a lot of the infrastructure already prepared. I haven't been here in so long. So first of all, we've got all of our highways that will be coming out of there. That will be lowered down slightly. And this is where it's going to end up being. Got highways coming out of there, another highway coming out over here. That will then just stretch all the way down over there, which is fine. Obviously, our port's going to be somewhere here. And what I'm going to try and actually do is use up as much of this terrain as possible. So we are going to be extending our, well, the world itself into the sea a little bit, because I'm not going to be building much in the actual sea itself. So I don't mind that. I'm about to die. Give me a second. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh. We good? Okay, we good. That's good. That was quite stupid.
Look through the window and notice a thread.
When you join a world, yeah, that's quite interesting. I've never seen that before, though. Ooh. I've probably got plenty of nuts, honestly. Oh, well, we've got 5 more now. Wait. Okay, I've literally got thousands, apparently. Well, 400. So this is where I'm most likely going to end up building the aluminium. The problem is, when we open up the map here very quickly, pretty much every single aluminium bauxite node in the game is from this point in one kind of straight line. So all I have to try and do is get a train line. I could use trucks. I could also try and use conveyor belts, but trains could also potentially work. We'll see. Going from down there, we'll build like a really nice grand central station. We'll have a bunch of trains coming in and out. I know that I said I wouldn't be using too many trains, but if I'm building a city, I feel like if I want to try and add a bit of life, I need trains. When it comes to resources like these, for example, conveyor belt highway can sort it out. Maybe get like a little road that connects some of these resources. Get some trucks, get some tractors, trains, drones. Have the drone ports on top of the roofs of all on top of the roofs of all the buildings. That could look really cool, like helipads, but drones. Tons of plans, but this is going to be the biggest part of my actual Satisfactory project. As of right now, of course, it's quite barren, it's a bit dead. And the most exciting part is, I actually want to try and do a few creative streams where I just get like a creative world going, and I just build. No limitations, no hovering around, no jetpacks. I just build, I design a city layout, and also the most important thing for me is I want to try and make sure that my city isn't completely flat. I want to try and have elevation. So for example, let's say there's a tower there. There might be a road from this level that then goes down to this level. Then the tower is incorporated to the road. It's incorporated into the landscape. They have trains going into the ports. I think it will look sick. I'm really excited for it, in case you guys couldn't tell. But there we go. Bit of a side. That's really cool. Side rant there, talking about the future. There's a lot of cool things coming up. I've got a lot planned. And like I've brought up 3 times now, I finally have the PC power to actually do it. The problem was before, I couldn't actually do what I imagined me wanting to do because my PC just didn't want to do it. Okay, nice. But for now, we've got this mega project to work on, which should be really fun. Okay. I just realized, logistically, this looks kind of cool. With all the roads and everything laid out. It does look a little bit symmetrical for my liking, which is the reason why I've offset these, for example. I think that was a good idea. I'm happy I did that. I didn't do it over here. I don't massively care about not doing it there. I feel like it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to this. So the next thing that I want to try and do now is firstly, instantly unequip that. And probably just chuck you into here. And now just sort this out, I suppose. Yeah. How did I do this? And why are you a different color to everything else? I know why. Because of that. No. Okay. My specs now, I don't know. I can try and find them for you after the stream. Okay. So you're in line with that. I then need you to go somewhere here. No. No. Directly there? Okay. Then from that position, I would then like you to continue out to there. Hmm. I just spotted one thing that's potentially definitely wrong. And the reason why none of it aligned before. Here, I've got about a 4-5 meter gap between the start of these ramp walls and the top of there. Whereas here it's only 1 meter. I should have actually gone up by a few meters first. Is that going to ruin the look of this? I don't think so. I don't think so. How would this look? No, I feel like it needs to be slightly open, in all fairness. And in fact, what I could honestly do is, if I was to lower you down like this, for example, that's about 4 meters, isn't it? That then kind of gets rid of our, not mistake, but our slight miscalculation of block placements. Not mistake. We don't make mistakes. That's fine though. Okay. So you're gonna go... Might be slightly easier to do this first, actually. Or not. Oh no, it was right. The second that I clicked off of it, it was right. Typical. There? Was you ever so slightly stick out? Look at all the layers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm loving this layer designs that we're trying to think of now. Some of them work quite nicely. Others don't work as nicely. So we're just trying to find where and how it works. Okay, I'm no scientist, but that's clearly not on the blueprint designer. And I'm all for it, because that's completely fine. Lovely. Okay, I don't necessarily mind this sticking out a little bit. I might have to get rid of that, because this will be the start of our next blueprint. So this is actually slightly overlapping, but I don't think that's going to negatively contribute to the next blueprint at all. I wouldn't mind if this just overlaps slightly though. No. Is there no way I can do that? Shame. Because the problem is I'm now going to have this little edge. It's going to then overlap with the other edge and it's going to look a little bit weird. But that's fine. Okay, what's next? We've now done this part. The wall, I suppose? Yeah. Let's start with you, because you're quite important. And luckily, all I've got to do is just... Oh. I've blocked my... I've done it again. The glass is just so transparent. It's not my fault. It's... I don't know. It's someone else's fault. How am I selecting that? There we go. It has to be someone else's fault. Because then otherwise it's my fault. And that... Well, I mean... It's impossible. There we go. Good. I can't add this wall in here just yet, which is fine. It's not a massive concern. Next. Other than replicating this onto that side, is there anything else I have to try and do here? I don't think so. Let's just try and replicate it now. Which shouldn't take too long to do. I've got everything in mind, at least. If I get rid of this wall, would it make things slightly easier for me? Let's see. Because you go exactly there. Do you overlap at all? I wouldn't say you do. That looks pretty good. I like that. The next wall, does that overlap? No. So none of the... Okay, no, you do slightly overlap. That's fine. I wasn't just about to say none of these walls overlap. That's good, because that would have been really bad timing, of course. You're about 4 meters high. You're in line with this. If that's much help, I don't necessarily know. No, because you're then down by about 4 meters. What I could try and do is this. Because now I know that's the maximum height I've got to try and go. Yes. When there's a will, there is a way. Although now I've just placed you in the vital parts of my factory. There we go. No one saw that. First part done. Let's turn the lights on. Turn the lights on. Carry me. No, no, no. Sorry. Isn't it turn the lights off? Doesn't matter. It does slightly matter. Pretty sure it's turn the lights off. You are then a half nudge, which is actually completely fine. You're already half nudge. You need to go somewhere here, I think. Right? Yeah. As high as you can go, preferably. Which isn't very high. There. I'm happy with that. You've covered some good ground there. I like that. Now, this next particular one is a full nudge out of this. You just shouldn't be there. Really? How the heck have I done that? Oh, because you're already there. That's why. Makes sense. Right, now you then have to go up to there. Oh, don't do that to me. You're so close. But computer says no, so that means no. You are fine. I can try and change the color here. There we go. That should be okay. The next part now is to try and line everything else up. I'm going to keep this there just for now. In fact, no, I'm not. You've got to roughly half nudge yourself into there. Sounds like some sort of swear word. Go nudge yourself. There you go. Now, after that's just nudged off, I can then try and plop you into there. And you're directly on the outskirts of the blueprints. Which I'm fine with. There. No. And where are you now going to be? You take up a fair amount of room, in fairness. There. Let's try and work on the heights. I think that's pretty good. I like that. As we can see, you also line up there with that wall as well, so that's perfect. Then bring you as far as I can go, which is... yeah. Okay. Grand. Now, can you not go any further out? I suppose it doesn't actually matter because, again... ooh, I can do it, though. It doesn't matter, but if I can do it, might as well. Because that's going to be part of a different blueprint. But if I can try and get the rough understandings of where to start that next blueprint, that is going to help us out. Except I don't like that very much. I really don't like that. Right, what are you... okay, you're on the same sort of level as this. Okay. That works. In fact, wait, I can place that down. Okay. I didn't realize I could actually do that though. But computer said yes. And apparently I can place you down there as well. Okay. Can I just finish off this entire wall? That would be nice. I actually can. There's no way. Okay. I mean, that's pretty cool. Damn. And after that now, bring you forwards by one. And paint you all white. I'm liking, well, I say I'm liking the look of it. I think I'm liking the look of it. A part of me now, and I don't want to be overdoing it here, but that's something I do quite a lot here on this channel. In case you guys are new, then prepare to see a lot of things being overdone. But one thing I like to try and do now is this. Yeah. And this. Line that up there in the middle. I'm not going to do it on the other side just yet because I haven't done the walls a bit further back just yet. But if I was to keep it like this, I'm very happy with the way that looks. Yeah. It will do the job. It's a bit bland in some places, but I'm okay with it. Let me just save this very quickly. Okay. Thank you again, by the way, to everyone who's currently tuning in. Hope that everyone's doing good so far. I just realized I'm currently trying to unlock phase 4 of the space elevator, and I have done 0 of the challenges for it. Instead, I've spent the last... Ooh, since how long? Since... August? No. June or July of last year building this. This might be the slowest playthrough in Satisfactory history, but again, I have spent the last like 6-ish months at uni, so I can't really, you know, diss myself that much. But at least now we've got a good few weeks of just cracking down, streaming, enjoying stuff. Hopefully that's the wrong way. Oh, that's fine. I'm not going to get angry over that. I'm just going to get frustrated. Okay. You're where I want you to be now. I think. Yep. One more? Oh, you're a bit too much, I would say. Let's just do what we did before, because it actually works out quite well. Oh, there. So I don't want you to go any higher than that. I want you to line up with this. Okay. That's basic. Yeah, I can do that. I can't do that. I can do that. There we go. Then for the bit underneath that, that's when I then need the 4-meter long walls. Or high walls, in fact. Because they're 8 meters wide, 4 meters tall. Obviously. Right, time for the lights. All of the lights. As Kanye West and Rihanna once said. Yes, that is a song. Very good song, actually, released by Kanye and Rihanna. I don't want to know how many years ago, though, because I already feel old enough, so. Boom, there we go. Welcome to another episode of Can I Line Up the Signs? Today we find out if I can line up the signs. Good enough. Yeah. My eyes can tolerate what I've just created. I have made worse. Boom, love that. Just straight away lock that in. How did I mess that up? Love that. It's hurting you. I don't want to feel old though. Because the thing is, I've lived most of my life in the same house. Same village. And now when I go to my local gym, which is next to a school that I went to, I remember the days that I used to go to the school and looking at people my age now and thinking, wow, that person's like 75 years old. I'm not 75, I'm actually 74. But now I am in the position I am, going to the same gym, I was in the same place, and I don't know. The world keeps spinning. Life is an interesting game. No one ever wins, it's just good to play. Okay. I'm actually not going to bother filling that in, there's absolutely no point. Boom. Lower that down. Have I done this right? Yeah, of course we have. Professional, satisfactory content creator. You know what? I'm going to say it. I think I am in the top 150,000 satisfactory content creators. I'm going to say it. Top 150,000 satisfactory content creators. Absolutely. I mean, with that latest series, you guessed a satisfactory item. Oof, I mean, that's thrilling stuff. And the fact I actually really enjoy making that too. It's probably one of like my favourite things I've created so far, because at uni I can't make any noise. I'm in a quiet accommodation, so I'm not allowed to make any noise. So the good thing with that particular series is that it's a completely non-verbal series. Anyone from anywhere can watch it. The only thing that's in English is, of course, the writing and the background jingles, and I think actually no, I haven't got any words in the songs, do they? No, the last one does. The song by ABBA. But other than that, anyone can sort of watch it and get the gist of it. Oh, hello. I have made a cobra. Look at the eyes being the signs. I have made a cobra. This being the tongue, which you shouldn't be able to see anyway. That's interesting. I'm going to instantly cover this up. There we go. Same thing there as well. Okay, the colours here do slightly irritate me. That's fine. With a little bit of tomfoolery, anything can be accomplished. Oh, you're taking the mick. The XCOM alien. Yeah, I slightly see it. I mean, now it's a bit less evidence. Oh well. Is this symmetrical? Let me just double check here. You slightly go over. And that is quite important, actually. So can I try and do the same thing here? There. Down. I like that. Let's do it. How far out can I come here? Oh, perfect. That lines up already. All the gaps here are filled in. Look at all the layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including that. 8, 9, 10. That's 10 different layers there of walls, lights. That's basically it. I'll start from up there. Right, that's the easy part out the way with. Boom. Same thing now with this. I would say that whenever I try and build something in this game, I try and make it as good as I can make it look, really. As obvious as that sounds, there's been many projects that I've finished, but I've come back to further down the line and I've realized I could make that look a bit better. Okay, now if I just get rid of this very quickly. Let's see, I'm going to fly back here a good few meters. In fact, no, I'm not. Because I might lose power. How does this look? I like that, kind of. What I definitely want to try and do now is continue this design out. Add a couple of columns here and there. I think that could look quite nice. Yep. I don't actually hate the concept. Right. Well, in that case, let's try and somehow do something with this. Where do I begin? Look at it all. Just look at it. What's the saying? An architect's dream is an engineer's nightmare. The problem with Satisfactory is I do both. I am my worst nightmare. Because when it's, you know, 2 a.m. in the morning and I can't get to sleep, I think of Satisfactory projects, just like the average person does, obviously. And these are the concepts I think about when I can't sleep. Not necessarily building a Cobra head, but I knew that I wanted to try and somehow replicate this and flip it upside down and make it somewhat symmetrical at this point. And I have. It's just, yeah. It looks peculiar, but I'm quite fascinated by the look. I will say though, I'll calm down by an extra little bit. Oh. Then again, here I want to try and do something as well. I don't know what I can do. I suppose I can just do this, can't I? No, because you interact, I suppose, with this. Yep. Oh, you aren't lined up properly. Bugger. Why are you not lined up properly? You should be. Oh, I've... Let's double check. We'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. Oh yes, that is absolutely correct. You are not lined up properly. It's good that we managed to spot this now, I suppose, but it's quite annoying that I didn't spot it earlier. Oh well. Nope. I think that is going to look a lot better. It's a very minute detail, but like, do you see what I mean? Out of everything here that could have been misaligned or gone wrong, I would not have thought it would have been this column. But that's all it takes. Might as well, you know, fix this whilst we're... Are these even the same height? I don't even think they are. No, you're a half a foundation higher. Which honestly is not a problem. Nah, that's not a problem at all. What I'll do is that. Is it going to stay as a flat concrete structure? Most likely not. But for now, yeah, it's completely fine. I might actually play along with this Cobra design. I don't know how. We'll see. We'll see how it looks when I've built out the wings there as well. Not the actual wings, but just the wings of the building. Okay. Ooh, in fact, I can't make you concrete, can I? Because now this is going to Z-snap. Or Z-snap. So what I'm going to try and do instead is make you asphalt. Holy noise. There we go. Everything's good there. You've now got to try and get up here slightly. Perfect. Then with this particular wall here, you have to line up. I love that. Well, I mean, yeah, it's fine. I wonder. Can I do this? Yeah. It just saves me having to readjust all these concrete walls again, which honestly I don't want to do. Get rid of that, that's fine. What am I going to do regarding the actual interior look here? Because I haven't even thought about this. It completely did not cross my mind at all what I'm going to be doing with this. I'm liking the concept. I keep saying the word concept, but I suppose it is. It's literally a concept. I like the idea, there we go, of something in here. Where are you going? That's my fault. I pressed the wrong button. There. That's good. I like that. And same thing now here. That's just gone to Narnia. Brilliant. The lion, the witch, and the basic wall. There we go. The actual design of what I'm going to do in here is unknown to the human species. As of right now. But guess what we're going to do? That's right. We're going to think of a concept. Because that is just not going to fly with me. I know what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Ooh, actually, no, I don't. Yeah, I do. It's going to be... Where is it? This. If it can fit. Okay. I am intrigued to see what it's going to look like from the other side. But from here, I mean, it's functional. I suppose. Oh, that's not right, is it? No. Okay. I like that. So we now have this thing appropriately named, because I've got no idea what I'm going to do with this. It could just stay like that. I don't really think it deserves to stay like that, though. What I want to try and do for these walls is... Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh. Okay, that's not bad. I think what I want to try and do, I don't know, is this. That's the middle, isn't it? Well, evidently not the middle. That's fine. Where is the middle? That's actually a good question. Where is the middle? Wait, one of these must be off. There's no way that... Yeah, look at that, because you're placed there. Right, which one of these is wrong then? You. You've got to be slightly in a bit more. There? Yes. Right, that's slightly thrown us off. Nothing... Actually, that is quite annoying because now that entire wall is out of place. Okay. A minor setback, but that's fine. But now you're sticking out further than the other one. Can we maybe not do that? There we go. 25th time lucky. We're 2 hours into the stream already. Damn. That's fine. Yep. Now what I'm going to try and do is add this back. Try and find the genuine center location, which honestly I think is just there. Yep. Okay. Then grab this. Bring you down by about that much. Okay. And now, when it comes to this particular wall, I think what I want to try and do is this. Okay, I won't do that then. Wow, my screen's got dark very quickly. I couldn't even see what I was doing. If you guys have been here for a while, you know that I don't like video games during the night. I just find them annoying. Most of the time. When it gets to the stage where I'm having to squint my eyes to see what I'm doing, it's probably not beneficial to my enjoyment. Only a couple of games I feel like I've properly nailed night times. Okay. You've got to change slightly. Be grey, I suppose? Yeah, okay. Can I still add you there? I can. Okay, that's fine. Do I want to try and do the same on the other side? I suppose yes, because I can't just have it show nothing on the other side. Maybe get rid of that. No, I suppose it has to be there because of that little gap. No, it doesn't. Let's rotate this. Where were you last time? Guess you were there. Fair enough. And now you come up to the very top of this, which is where you're currently located. Nope. There. Grand. Yeah, that's grand. Brilliant, I think. Essentially. Let me just very quickly check the rugby score. I know I said I wouldn't do this, but England rugby. Yes, okay. So far, England's winning. I mean, England can't win the Six Nations, but it means that if England win and France get the... Even if France do get the bonus point, Ireland still wins the Six Nations. Okay, interesting. It's only half time there. England can't win. No one else can win right now other than France and Ireland. That's interesting then. Anyway. Back to planet Earth for a quick second. In fact, no, this is technically planet... What is it? Massage 2ABB on the Andromeda Galaxy? I think that's where we are. That isn't where England's located, that's where the game's located, like this planet. Okay. Organization. Let's go for some signs. We'll go 1. We'll go 2. Then in the middle, I would like to go with a cheeky little 2-meter sign. Because I think that will look quite cute. What do I mean by that? I don't know. Then now with you, I'm actually just going to go with a white. Which should look fine. No, sorry. Boom. Yeah. Just shake it up a little bit. I like that. I think this blueprint is now done. You can all stay. There's nothing wrong with that. At least I hope this blueprint's done. I don't particularly want to be changing it again. That's the wrong way. It was a 50-50. It lined up so well, I thought, wow, can't be true. I suppose it turned out it wasn't true. So we then had to get rid of this. We selected you. Come on. There we go. Then that. Now I'm wondering very intensely, can I just join you up? Absolutely I can. Do I like the way that looks? Let's get a few different side angles. No, I actually don't like the way that looks. How can I improve it? I feel like you have to be carbon fiber. And then you... Okay. Okay. We're here to learn, chat. We're here to learn. If I get rid of that, and then actually join you up. You can remain the same. I don't really want to do much with you. Then try to line this up. Like that. Now, what are we saying? Has this changed anything? Is now my next question. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of this actually, 'cause it's slightly out of place. That's not bad going. You can sort of see the concrete peeking through there. I don't know if there's much we can do about that. But I would say that does look better. I'm almost half tempted to do this. I don't know how this is going to look, by the way, so let me just try something very quickly. What is it that the kids say nowadays? Let me prepare, let me cook. Let me cook something. How do I cook? Up, no, there. Okay, okay. Are you still joint with this? No. Okay. Good start. But if I was to come out with something like that. Okay, it was a 50-50. Then same thing there. I think all of this has to get pushed in by one nudge anyway. But let's say I was to do that. How would this then look? Mimic that from the top there as well. I actually quite like that, I think. Right, let's put this design into practice. Because actions speak louder than non-actions. Yeah. That was really inspirational. I've actually got shivers from that. That was really inspirational. People have won a Nobel Peace Prize for this. Okay. So are you... No. That's good. Then, okay. Then, right. First try, let's go. I think color-wise, it's fine the way it looks. Right? Yeah. I feel like it needs something more though, something extra. What does it need? It needs decoration, absolutely, but I'm just trying to think in what way. And no, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with this gap. Maybe get a beam? Why would there be a beam here though? No. What do I do here? No, I can't do that. It can't go in the ground, basically. How about these? Just say it's part of the design. I mean, it kind of works. No. I don't hate that. I think it does look a little bit weird. Also, you are slightly off now, aren't you? So get rid of that. Turn our light on. Turn the lights. No, I'm not going to sing that song again. There we go. Carbon steel. Although I think you've actually got to come out by a little bit, don't you? Lovely. I haven't yet assessed what this actually looks like from the interior of our factory. We will have a very quick gander in just a moment. I don't want you. I don't want you. And I certainly don't want you, I don't think. So from the outskirts, what does it look like? It looks fine. There's not really much that's visually changed from this particular angle. Now when it comes to this angle, I like this. It gives it a podium look. I want it to look like if you were to stand there, you can overlook the world. And the world, you can most certainly overlook. Also, I quite like this. Very unexpected design in the biking area, but there we go. This isn't going to be a thing, by the way. This is going to be a massive corridor. I suppose it could be a thing. You'd walk around it, but why? Where would you go? What would you do? I realise it's been 2 and a bit hours, and all I've done... I need some Maltesers. Give me a minute. I have a cupboard full of Maltesers and sellotape. Haven't we all got that in our offices, though? Maltesers and sellotape in the top drawer. I don't even know where my wallet is. I've moved my wallet in place of Maltesers. I've just dropped a Malteser. That's got like 3 months worth of... This probably has a bubonic plague on it, but that's fine. It just tastes nice, doesn't it? I like Maltesers. Maltesers are solid. Oh no, you haven't. Bugging me sideways. That's fun. Anyway, how does this look now from this side? Okay, okay. So that has to slightly increase. Perfect. I actually quite like that design. It's so simple, yet I think it works. Heights-wise, this is going to be quite tall. What a surprise! I built something bigger than I thought it was going to be. Wow, I haven't done that since our last stream. Oh well. What else have I got to try and design? You know what I'm going to try and do? Off camera, I'm going to make a tally. A little, not an Excel spreadsheet. I might even hop onto Miro, this app here, and just create a very small graph of every blueprint I want, the actual design I want to try and come up with, try and design some 2D or 3D image, and just try and see roughly what concept I want to try and go with. Because as of right now, this looks fine. I'm happy with how this looks. It's thick, it's girthy, and it's concrete-y. Concrete. Brutalesque. There you go. It's quite brutalesque. Brutalist. Brutalist? Brutalist. Brutalist. ST. Yeah. Which I'm actually completely fine with. Oh, don't die. There's going to be some parts of this project that are going to be far bigger than others. But great projects in the future. I think what I want to try and do, though, is definitely keep this height going all the way around the not just this one quarter, but the entire way around. Just like that. Then the closer that I get towards the center here is when I then start doing the big skyscraper. Big skyscrapers. But I don't know what this was. Massive skyscrapers. Because quite frankly, I'm concerned about our fuel generators. Oh, there's so much to do. I've got to try and design the fuel generator blueprints, which I know roughly what I'm going to try and do. It's quite similar to what I did in my last playthrough, because that worked really, really well. The logistics over there, I've got to try and finish. I've got to make sure that everything here is done. By that, I mean make sure all these walls are done, which I'm pretty sure I did do. I was watching a series over on BBC called Our Girl, and there's actually a couple scenes that take place in Purbright, which is the barracks I went to. And there's this one place in pub, right, called the 50 pence, which is in the centre. I won't say what's there for safety reasons, but it's on the internet. And one of the actual scenes in the TV show shows them getting off the bus at the 50 pence and then being greeted by the staff. Even though in reality, you don't actually get off the bus at the 50 pence because that's just, well, you don't do that. Anyway. But that was pretty cool. What was I was talking about something. One girl, BB. Oh yeah. I was watching the TV series as I was doing this, and sometimes when I'm paying more attention to the show than what I'm doing, things get a bit which is the reason why I cannot watch Game of Thrones whilst playing a game in the background. I can only watch Game of Thrones when I've got nothing going on, or if I'm eating. But for example, when I'm painting Warhammer. In fact, when I'm painting Warhammer, I can't listen to music, especially if it's metal music, because I realize that when I'm listening, my head's bopping a little bit, I'm not paying attention. And it can't be a video where I've got to focus on, because quite frankly, I'm not focusing on the video. I just need background noise to relax my nerves a little bit. Anyway, so that's going to conclude today's stream. As I said, I'm probably going to end up replicating this part here up there, then somehow attaching it onto the blueprints that we just did. I'm going to try and do that off camera. I want to try and make a tally of all the blueprints I need, of all the little bits and bobs I want to try and add now to this particular project. Like, this is our first blueprint, second blueprint, third blueprint, fourth, then our corner ones, fifth and sixth. Then just going around and making sure that is all fine. But either way, chat, thank you guys very much for tuning in today. I hope that you guys ended up enjoying the stream. A massive thank you to everyone for dropping likes over on the YouTube stream as well. Over 200 people tuned in at the end, which is extremely kind. It's bugging out a little bit, but it says that we've got a couple of viewers now, which is very kind. I do appreciate that. And yeah, that's going to conclude it for today. Tomorrow is going to be a Satisfactory stream. The day after that will be Satisfactory. The day after that... No, sorry. Tomorrow is not Satisfactory. Tomorrow is Arc Raiders. Then it's like 3 days in a row of Satisfactory. But I'm super excited to get straight back into it and have a little bit of fun. Either way, thank you guys very much for watching, liking, and subscribing. And I hope to see you guys on the next stream tomorrow. Without further ado, Godspeed, and stay safe.